Hello everyone and welcome back to Elden Ring. Welcome back to an episode a little bit different from the walkthroughs this time. I'm going to do an episode showing you the build, a strength build. And this is how I finished the game, so it's simple. And I know a lot of people who play this game can be overwhelmed with, the amount of things that are in it, and honestly you don't have to be. You can play it simply. I played all of the other games and you can see that actually I played almost 200 hours in this, and this is just the first one. I have another one too with another 100 hours, so I put a lot of hours in this, and I played all the previous games, so I know what I'm talking about, but I like to keep it simple. All my points, as you can see here on the right hand side, goes into vigor, endurance, and strength, and that's all I do every time. So the first weapon that I'll be talking about in terms of what we're using is the Great Heavy Stars. In my opinion, this is actually one of the best, if not the best weapon in the game. I would say one of the best because there's a lot of good weapons as well. It scales A with strength, and as you can see, it's plus 327 there, and if you two-hand it, it will be up to 400, which is, man, it's incredibly good. Now also it causes blood loss buildup at 55, which again is not the highest in the game, but again, you add it with the other special ability that this weapon has, which landing attacks slightly restores HP. Like, come on, like, it has probably three things that are just all in one weapon, so it's incredibly good. So this is, again, by far, or in my opinion, one of the best weapons, so I use that. Now the other thing that I use here is the stone shield. This stone shield is hard to get, but again, if you search these things, you'll probably find guides on how to find them. But the great stone shield, it's the best shield in the game. A guard boost at 88. I think it can go up even more. This is only plus 24. It can go up to 90, I believe. Strength scaling with B, and there's a passive effect. It causes madness buildup of up to 70. So it's the best shield. The only down thing about the shield is its weight. It weighs at 29, and that's why it kind of hinders. It's hard to use, and that's why having a lot of strength, a lot of vigor, endurance allows you to use this. The other thing that is important for the build as well is this mask, the Omen Smirk mask. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit ugly, but it increases your strength by 2, which is incredibly good. So that's why I like to have that. Now for the armor, I'll show you guys 2 sets of armors, maybe a third one for a low level, how I started. But this armor here, the Malekith armor, you get late in the game, so you might not have it at the start, which I'll show you another one in a second. But this one, it's a good armor, it looks amazing, and it allows us to have that medium equip load, so we're a little bit faster. So that's why I like to have this armor. Obviously, plus the looks, man. Look at this armor. It looks incredibly, like, look at it, black and gold. It looks amazing. It's not bad too, like in terms of resistance and stuff. So yeah, this is for the armor. And then for the talismans, you have the Earth Tree Favor +1, where it says HP, stamina, and equip load. Again, incredible. You need this one for sure. And then the Green Turtle Talisman, which raises the stamina recovery speed. We are heavy, we hit heavy, so our stamina is very important. It needs to regenerate as quickly as possible. So that's this talisman is also needed. Now for this one, again, if you level up endurance a little bit more than I do here, you might be able to get away with not using this one. But if I take this one off, then you're at heavy, so that's why I need this one. So these 3 are needed for this build. And then this last one is really up to you, and it's up to the situation. I have the Great Shield Talisman, which boosts guarding ability. When we're guarding, this allows us to basically not lose any stamina, and I'll show you a demonstration in a second. But yeah, this one is really up to you and up to the situation. You can have the Curved Soul Talisman, which enhances guard counters. You can have this one, the Claw Talisman, which enhances jump attacks. I do a lot of jumping attacks, so I've used this one. I know some bosses were fire. I think the Fire Giant, so I use this one during that fight, is greatly boost fire damage negation. And then also the Pearl Drake Talisman, which boosts non-physical damage negation. So it's really up to you for that last one. And if you put a little bit more endurance, you might be able to get away with not having this one. But yeah, these are the talismans that I use. And for the last for the items, honestly, again, just keeping it simple and just having all the health, 13 of them there. And then for the what's it called, the item here, the consumable, I just have it at restore half health for both of them. So when I take this one, is pretty much my full health goes back. So that's the first setup that I have. The other setup, again, this setup is just it's nice because you have that medium, so if you need to move quickly, this is a good setup with strength. The other one is which I ran honestly most of the game with, is the veteran. So the veteran armor, which is Commander Neil. Again, it's a little bit towards the end of the game. It's in the snowy area that you get this armor after you beat Commander Neil, which is a pretty tough boss fight. But if you get this armor, your resistance goes way up, your poise goes way up, and then again, you don't need this anymore, so you just replace this with either this one or the jumping. With having these two talisman, you're just a tank at this point. You're heavy, but you're just a tank. And honestly, you can run most bosses with this. Like you just run away. Like you don't roll as much, but you just block and attack. This is by far, in my opinion, the best armor in the game. You can get away with a little bit more endurance, more than 33, and that will, if you have this setup with a little bit more endurance, you can get it down to medium, and that, again, that will be incredible as well. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. But I'll show you guys with these two on, even though we're heavy. But here, let's go to one of the end game areas, one of the toughest knights here. And I'll show you. They don't, with this shield, they don't touch you like at all. They don't touch you at all. Like, look at this. They can't. And then you just guard counter. Again, hit you, nothing. You can see the stamina is not even going anywhere. And then guard counter. If he does that, obviously, again, the fire, you're not really against fire, but it doesn't take much anyways. And guard counter, yeah, incredible. That shield is incredible. So this is the heavy. Again, with the heavy, you just block. You're mostly focused on blocking. You're not really focused on rolling. So again, we're heavy here, so I'll show you guys again with the heavy. Again, these are the end game knights. So if you get them with two counters, you'll stagger them. There you go. Again, I don't need to roll. I'm just blocking with this shield and this build. You just block. You don't need to. You're not rolling. You're literally a tank. So, and then you have obviously the mask with the +2. So, strength. You get him with two of those, and he's staggered. Incredible. So yeah, there you guys have it. That shield, again, you can search it up how to get it. It's pretty hard to get it. Honestly, it took me a few tries to get this shield. It's in an area underneath the capital, and you have to go down. But yeah, you search underneath, and then you have to go through this dungeon to get it. but it's definitely worth it if you're building a strength build. But yeah, man, this is, like I said, this is just keeping it simple. You know, that was my whole idea, is just to keep it simple. I don't need to add a lot of magic. A lot of I see a lot of builds with different weapons and swords of like, oh, like you gotta have this flask and this flask and this talisman for all this to work together. I just like to keep it simple, and I was able to beat the game with just this idea of just vigor, endurance, and strength. Now the other armor that I used earlier a lot, which you can get pretty early, is this knight armor. Again, I used it with that, and I also put on, I remember one of the earlier, this here, right here, and then I put on as well as the Vanguard. So this is all the knight stuff. And then I was running with this shield for a while as well. You get this shield pretty early as well from one of the sentinels, or the guys on the horse, and you can use the jellyfish, or even just a regular armor. But I ran for most of the game with this as well, early on in the game. So that's an early game armor that you can use again with this setup, vigor, endurance, and strength. But yeah, man, like that's, I just wanted to show that it doesn't have to be complicated. It could be simple, just endurance and vigor and strength, and you can finish the game with that build. And with that setup, you know what I mean? You don't have to go magic and all these things. But I hope that helps. I hope that helps a lot of people. I know when I first started playing these games, it was overwhelming with the amount of things that you could do, and it doesn't have to be. That's the beauty of this game, is you can play it in many ways, and this is one of the simpler ways. So yeah, please drop a like if you like this type of video. It allows me to do a lot more videos like this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.